We are back on the record with Speaker Ron Mariano.
So protests broke out at the State House last week. Hundreds of people marching in the streets to push back on the president's policies, the power he's given to billionaire Elon Musk. They also say they want to see more Democrats stand up in Washington and push back. Do you agree with them? What would you like to see from Democrats?
Absolutely.
Do you think they've been too passive in these first few weeks?
I will go back to the selection of Supreme Court justices. I thought the way they were outmaneuvered in the Senate, especially around the Garland appointment, was embarrassing for Democrats.
And obviously they don't control either House or
well, now they
House.
don't. No, I think for a lot of different reasons. I think taking the position of on some of the issues that people were not as concerned as they thought. I mean, the senators thought they were. When the nuts and bolts issue like inflation, job security, education, housing.
You want to see them fight harder?
Yeah, they have to. There's no overtime in this game now. They have to go right to the finish line, and they're the last ones in line of defense. No one's going to listen to us, and we can patchwork and backstop some of the changes, but we cannot make the commitment to replace everything the feds take away.
Let's talk about the Mass GOP. It's getting its mojo back. They have picked up a few members. They are getting more aggressive in challenges to everything from the shelter crisis to boys playing girls' sports. As the Speaker, how are you addressing the concerns from the other side of the aisle?
Well, we have a fairly good relationship with the Republicans in the House. We talk. We spent a lot of time on the floor yesterday talking to the Republicans and some of their concerns. Some of them we were able to iron out without amendments. Some of the amendments we thought were overreaching. Some of the amendments about ICE and ICE enforcement. And some of the amendments we thought were unconstitutional. The length of state being required to have a length of stay in the U.S. to be eligible, we think is unconstitutional, and so we sort of voted those down. There were 2 or 3 of those amendments, but we do think that we give everyone an opportunity to come in. We're not going to send anyone out into the street. We were compassionate about the fact that there'll be people coming in here who aren't ready to be accepted as permanent residents of Massachusetts, and they will get 30 days in a shelter, a respite shelter, to get their act together, to make a determination. Are you going to stay? Will you make a commitment to stay in Massachusetts? They then have to get some documentation of a commitment to stay, and then we'll see if we get them into the shelter.
Mr. Speaker, it's great to have you with us. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, by the way? Chiefs or the Eagles?
Listen, if I was at the opening of the casino again, I'd probably put some money on
I have one last
the
question.
Eagles.
I have one last question for you. Any plans to retire?
Retire? What's that?
All right. Well, there you had it.
You got the answer
Had
right
to
there.
ask.
Our thanks to the Speaker for joining us on the
Thank
record
you.
this
Thank
morning.
you.
Sunday Roundtable is next. Well, he's in the race. Josh Kraft makes his run for mayor official. Now comes the Hot Pot. We will talk about the battle lines in the Kraft-Wu matchup. Stay with us.